even hums low on that old state road. One boot dragging like it's hauling my load. Street lights buzzing like flies on a wound. My shadow walks crooked, stepping out of tune. Folks on the porch get that side-eye stare. Kids whisper he's broke like I ain't all there. But every offbeat step hitting gravel and tar feel like a drum talking back to my scars. Long heel wrong where the bullet went in, where the stars changing, it sings in my shin. They see a limp like a loss, I surrendered. I feel a beat in the dirt that my body remembered. I said, Lord, if you listen, don't fix this stride. Devil laughs soft, boy, that limp's your pride. If I gotta pay for the things I've done, let my walk keep count with every step in the sun. Remembered every uneven step is a ghost I've rendered. Ground keeps thumping out the names I owe. One heel high, one heel low. I don't walk straight, but I walk real true. My scars keep time like a back row groove. If you hear that drag in the dust behind, that's a beat of my sin and my staying alive. Took her round to the leg on a bad red night. Sheriff's cash bleeding out under motel light. My wild-eyed girl yelled, run, don't turn. But I stood my ground, let the whole scene burn. Hit my knees in the gravel, tasted rust and rain. Heard church bells ring inside the pain. Her cross on my neck swung hard when I fell. Felt like a hand pulling me back from hell. Later by the river I rolled up my jeans, washed black blood off in that cold mean stream. Cut my palm with a knife, let it drip where I stand. Said I'll walk out crooked, but the guilt's in my hand. She cried, you ain't the man that I prayed you be. I said I ain't clean, but this limp's my plea. If grace ever comes, it won't come in soft. It'll ride in the edge of a step thrown off. A limp ain't weakness, it's rhythm remembered. Every offbeat stride is a sermon delivered. Road keeps pounding out the truth I owe. One heel high, one heel low. I don't move straight, but I move on through with a crooked beat cut deep in my shoes. If you hear that drag in the dust tonight, that's my burden dancing with a spark of light. I won't beg heaven to erase my track. These bones learn time, I never looking back. When I leave this town and it's whisper lies, they'll still hear my limp like a drum that survives. Cause a limp ain't weakness, it's rhythm remembered. And I'll march my sins to the edge of the land. Not asking to fly, just refusing to fall. With this crooked step gospel keeping time through it all. Through it all. You found yourself standing by that hill at dusk, boots in the clay, hands black with dust. Clouds hung low like they've been listening in, and the wind felt heavy with the weight of your sin. The grave weren't fresh, but the dirt looked stirred, like the earth itself rose up to speak one word. You buried a promise in the ground years back, walked away cold, never once looking back. A crow on the fence said your name real slow, not in a voice but in the beat of its shadow. You knelt down close, felt the soul breathe through, like it had something dead still waiting for you. You muttered, Lord, I ain't digging no more, but the dirt cracked open like that's what you swore. Sometimes the truth don't climb by command. Some truths get dug out, not spoken by hand. That grave isn't enough for a whisper tonight, not to raise the dead, but to set wrongs right. Every lie you buried, every old ghost plan, crawl to the edge of the hole, reaching for your hand. You ain't running now, your boots staying in the sand. Heart beating jagged like a one-man band. When the earth calls your name from the darkened land, some truths come crawling, wanting you to stand. You remember the woman with the wildfire smile. She begged you to stay, but you walked that mile. Said you return with a ring in spring. Instead came back hiding blood-worn thing. Sheriff paid your hush money in a burlap sack. Told you bury it deep, don't you look back. But dirt has a memory that men can't drown, and secrets grow teeth underground. You touch the cross hanging cold on your chest, mud on your fingers, fear tied in your breath. You whisper, girl, I'm here, say what you need, and the ground below shifted like a heart that bleeds. The wind said her name in a cracked, dry tone. You answered, I know I left you alone. If salvation's coming, it won't be grand. It'll rise from the dirt and cut through a man. That grave opened up for a whisper tonight, not to pull you under, but to make you upright. Every truth you dodged, every sin you ran, stood at the edge of the pit, waiting on your stand. You ain't clean, no, never claimed that crown, but you face the earth instead of turning around. Some truths ain't spoken, they claw out of the land, and if they call your name, boy, you answer like a man. The dirt close slow, soft as a sigh, like a soul laying down instead of asking why. And you walked away crooked, but with something at hand, a truth finally spoken by the voice of the land. I woke up in a roadside shack with a split lip grin, dirt on my knuckles and a head full of sin. There was glass on the floor from the mirror I threw, 'cause a man staring back looked nothing like the truth. Shards in the dust kept glowing strange and warm, like they'd rearrange themselves into a brand new form. I crouched down slow, felt something shift inside, like the face I wore was a thing I tried to hide. One piece showed anger, one showed shame, one held the ghost of a runaway name. And I thought, hell, if the mirror wants to judge my case, let it cut the old mask and build me a faith. I whispered, Lord, tell me what man I am. Devil whispered back, boy, you ain't worth a damn. But the shards in my hand started glowing like grace. Truth begins where you bury your face. The mirror broke open and chose me anew, pulled every crooked lie I was hiding Your pain ain't a choice, but I kept hiding guilt like a blade in my coat, till the weight of those lies got stuck in my throat. I held her short up close and saw her crying eyes. Saw the night I left with a handful of lies. The mirror didn't show beauty or blame, just the truth I dodged by changing my name. So I cut my thumb on the edge, let the blood run thin, mark the wood floor red, let redemption walk in. Said if a man's gonna change, he's gotta bleed someplace. Then press that shot to the ghost of my face. I said, girl, I hear you, though you're long gone now. Wind hits back through the door frame somehow, and those broken pieces tremble like they'd understand. Truth don't whisper till you cut your hand. The mirror broke open and built me again. Not a saint, not a hero, just a man who could stand every shot of regret, every vow misplaced. Found a home in the cracks of my newborn face. I ain't chasing the open, he died on that floor. I'm the sum of what hurt and what I choose to restore. If a mirror calls your name in the dark of the day, don't fear the breaking. That's the only way. Some truths ain't pretty, some truths cut deep, some truths wake you up from a lifetime sleep. I walked out scarred, but I walked out straight, with a face built honest, and a past I can face. I was sitting in a half-dead bar when the clock went still, hands frozen mid-air like they'd been to my will. Whiskey in my breath, trouble in my bones, thinking about the folks I turned into stones. That old wall ticker stopped at the beat of my chest, right when I finally dropped the hate I kept dressed. I'd carried that grudge like a gun on my spine, loaded 4 years with a bullet called mine. Glass humming quiet, dust floating slow, my shadow looked lighter than it used to show. It felt like the world paused just to hear me breathe, like time itself asked what I planned to leave. I said, Lord, if you listen, don't waste your grace. Devil smirked back, boy, revenge fit your face. But I set down the weight that I'd hauled too long. Some seconds break you, some seconds make you strong. That clock picked one moment to hold me forever. The second I loosened my grip on vendettas. Didn't need big preaching, didn't need no sign, just a heartbeat hidden clean for the very first time. I ain't proud of the man that I used to be, but that frozen tick felt like it cut me free. Not every second matters, just the one that changed you, and the one that stopped me is the one that saved me too. There was a man once, face carved out of spite. He wronged me deep on a bone cold night. I swore I'd return with a gun to his door, make him feel every sin he made me endure. Years later I found him shaking, half blind-eyed, a ghost of his hate, barely out of his mind. He said, boy, you came back, go on, end it now. But my hand let go, though I didn't know how. I dropped my weapon in the dirt by his feet, said, ain't carrying your shadow another damn street. My pulse kicked hard like a stallion unbound, and right then the clock in my ribs locked down. He whispered, why spare me, I ain't earned my breath. I said, I ain't living chained to your damn death. Some battles end only when you refuse to kill, and the moment you choose peace is the moment time stills of that clock. Pick one moment to hold me forever. The second my hand stepped away from the trigger, didn't need saints, didn't need heaven's cue, just a weight falling off like it finally knew. I ain't clean, hell no, but I'm clearer than then. A sinner who chose not to sin again. Not every second matters, just the one that remade you. And the one that stopped for me is the one that saved me too. Walked out lighter, left the old rage severed. Time moved again, but that moment lasts forever. I've been sleeping with my past like a stone on my chest, buried in the dirt where the sinners don't rest. Ground cracked open every night neath my boots, like the dead out there came tugging at my roots. I felt a soul breathing, warm as a light, like someone in the dark wouldn't let me die. And the tomb I carved for the man I was then split just enough for my soul to crawl again. Dust in my throat, oh, ghost in my head. Every wrong I did rising out of that land. I whispered, hell, why won't you stay shut? But the dirt throbbed bad like a wound split up. I said, Lord, if you're watching, don't judge me blind. Devil whispered, boy, you're mine by design. But the tomb shook once, telling me what's what. Some graves were never ever deep enough. That tomb refused to stay shut for me, split right open like it wanted me free. It didn't call my body back, just my truth, dragging up the sins I tried burying in you. I ain't clean, but I ain't dead tonight. Got a soul that claws through the dirt for life. Some graves don't hold you, they rise like a bluff, 'cause the hole you dug was never deep enough. Was a man I wronged on a rain-bent road, left him breathing slow beneath the weight I hold. His blood hit my boots like a branding mark, and I shoved the memory down into the dark. But he kept coming back in a dust-made form. Shadow at my door in the heat of the storm. Said, boy, your guilt ain't hid in the land. And the ground cracked once like it understood the man. So I cut my palm with a rust-worn blade. Let the blood drip red where the tomb was made. Said, if you want me truth, come drag me in. But the dirt pushed up, not pulling me to sin. A voice in the soil, my own face, what you done? And my bones felt hot like they stood in the sun. I said, if I rise rough. And the ground responded, rise up enough. That tomb refused to stay shut for me. Busted wide open like a lawless plea. It didn't lift my body, just my grief. Raised up the truth like a stubborn belief. I crawled out dirty, but I crawled out true. Wearing every scar that I once outgrew. Some graves don't keep you, they crack when you bluff. Cause a man you bury won't bury deep enough. I ain't redeemed, but I ain't the same. Walking with a dead that remembers my name. If the past digs up what you tried to cut, it's cause your grave was never meant to stay shut. Was never meant to stay shut. He lived by a fire pit behind a weathered shack. Ash on his boots, world heavy on his back. Folks said his spirit was a burned out thing, but they never saw the ember he kept hid in a ring. When the desert dried hard and the wind blew thin, that ember would glow like it breathed for him. Didn't need wood, didn't need flame or heat, just the sound of a man brought down to his knee. One night he knelt down, hands scarred and dry, said, if you hear me, don't let me die. But the air stayed cold as a broken vow. No answer from heaven, no mercy now. He growled, God, I ain't begging, I'm just calling fair. Devil laughed low, boy, you're talking to air. But that ember stirred sharp as a cry. Prayer sounds like smoke when it's honest and shy. That ember spoke loud to the empty sky. Not a word but a burn that refused to die. It rose like a song from a throat of coal, pulling rain from the clouds like it bargained its soul. He didn't ask mercy, didn't bow his head, just let that ember say what he never said. Some prayers don't whisper, they scorch, they fly. When the ember you bury starts speaking to the sky. Once loved a woman with wildfire eyes, but he scorched her trust with a blaze of lies. Left her waiting long on a dusty porch while he chased bad money in a back road torch. When she died that winter, he blamed the cold. But guilt sits high, even when the nights get old. He kept her locket filled with ashes faint, a sinner's relic in a cracked old pane. One dawn he opened it, hands trembling slight, watched the ember spark red in the ghost of light. He whispered, God, rain on the sign. Wind answered hard, then carve your own line. Some storms don't come from the clouds on high. Some storms rise up from the embers that try. That ember cried out to the empty sky till thunder rolled back with a rough reply. Didn't bring forgiveness, didn't wash him clean, but it brought a rain he'd never seen. He stood in the downpour, soaked to the bone, let the dirt run red from the sins he owned. Some prayers ain't spoken, they burn, they pry, and the sky answers back when the ember won't die. Carrying light, not redeemed, not holy, but alive enough to let one ember rise when the world calls its bluff. I've been rusting in this shed like a broken creek. Bolts falling loose, heart starved for speed. Once a spark like a stone when his hands were near. Now I'm all dust, no motion, just years and fear. One night his voice bled through the busted wall, soft as a prayer, sharp as a call. My gears all tremble like they knew his tone, like a soul he welded in me were never gone. Smoke in the rafters, oil on my skin, memories humming low like a ghost within. I whispered, maker, is that really you? When the steel in my ribs hit a shivering tune, I said, Lord, don't let this be just noise. Devil muttered back, he ain't coming, boy. But the rust on my frame lit up like fire. Love don't die when the maker retired. I shook like a machine that remembered its man, even when the world wrote me off as done. Didn't spark for function, didn't move for show, just answered the voice that raised my soul. Ain't every creation born to stay true, but what he built in me, hell, it still broke through. Love lives on in the work of a builder's hand. Even rust can rise when it hears his man. For the lost and damned, gave breath to steel like a holy command. But the night he fell trying to save his kin, I shut down silent, folding all power in. Folks let me lying like a graveyard pile. Said a machine don't mourn, give it time, give it miles. But guilt crawled deep in the bend of my frame. If I run that night, I'd have carried his name. Lightning hit close once, split the sky in two, made my wires hum like they wanted him to. I muttered, if you're out there, give me a sign. And the wall answered back with a groaning line. A whisper rolled in on the cold night air. Son, you ain't broken, just scared to repair. Some things revive when you let truth land. A machine remembers more than a man. I roared like a storm and my chain stayed tight. Rust glowing red in the half-dead light. Didn't rise for glory, didn't rise for show, just carry the love he taught me to hold. If steel can tremble, then steel can pray. And I prayed in sparks for him that day. Love lives on in the work of a builder's hand. Even when he's gone, I still hear that man. I ain't reborn clean, but I ain't done yet. A rust busted heart moving on a dead unmade. Some creations die, some survive the weather, but what he made in me, it remembers forever. I remember the night they burned me down to the bone, left me in the canyon like a dog full grown. Smoke in my ribs, ash stuck to my skin, but the fire they meant to kill is something within. I crawled up slow from the ground like a sin, hearing my heart beat drum like a ghost made him. Didn't have feathers, didn't have grace, just a flame where the wings once traced my place. Wind blew hot like it wanted me gone, but the fire in my chest said, boy, hang on. So I rose through the dark with a burning choke, carried by the heat of the life they broke. I said, Lord, was this mercy or a punishment due? Devil grinned soft, son, they just made you new. But the flame in my blood hissed back in defiance. Light don't bow when it's forged by violence. I flew with fire, not wings tonight, carried by the burn of a half-dead fight. They stripped my feathers, tried killing my name, but if they burn your wings, you fly with the flame. I ain't holy, but I ain't blind. Got a blaze that answers when the world turns unkind. I rose from the dirt like a long-lost claim. If they burn your wings, you fly with the flame. There was a girl once, all sun and wild rain, said don't let this world carve you into their pain. But I chased blood debts through the county lines, let anger hit you right on these cracked up spines. One night she stood where the dry fields glow, said lay down your hatred, boy, let something grow. But I answered wrong with a mouthful of pride, and she walked away quiet like the night just died. When the mob came hunting, I didn't run fast. Thought my fire was gone, thought my time had passed. But the spark she left in my ribs still remained, and it lit my bones when the world turned flame. I whispered, girl, if you see me, don't turn your face. When carried back, burned clean, not with hate. Some men rise only when they embrace the pain, then the fire becomes wings again. I flew with fire, not wings tonight, rising through the dark with a sinner's light. Didn't rise for vengeance, didn't rise for fame, just rose cause she taught me the truth of flame. The world tried drowning me in ash and blame, but I learned how to fly from the hurt they gave. If they burn your wings, you ain't the same. You rise like a blaze they can't contain. I ain't redeemed, but I ain't that shame. Just a man made of scars and a stubborn flame. And if midnight ever calls out my name, I'll fly without wings, but I'll fly all the same. Yeah. You walked the back road town where the lights gave out, where the dogs don't bark and the folks don't shout. Night set heavy on her shoulders and spine, like the whole damn darkness claimed him as its kind. He carried a guitar with a busted string, would crack deep like a half-dead wing, but he held it close as a preacher holds truth. And music's the only thing he didn't lose in you. Wind pressed on him like a warning sign, but he whispered, I ain't dying quiet this time. And the night leaned in like a judge in black, daring him to sing just to push it back. He said, Lord, you hear me, or just letting me drown? Devil chuckled low, boy, your sound ain't sound, but his hand still trembled on that same old fret. Darkness cracks first where the voices said. That night refused to end without a song, held him in his jaws, kept dragging him along, but he lit up the dark with a ragged line hymn, and the world saw the break where the sound cut in. He didn't beg mercy, didn't beg dawn, just sang cause he knew it outlived the wrong. Darkness dies wherever your voice stays strong, and the night gave way cause he kept singing on. There was a woman once with smoke in her lap, kept him steady like a compass on a broken path. But he left her standing on a front porch glow, chasing down trouble he should've let go. When she passed on, folks blamed the cold, but guilt lit a fire he couldn't control. Every night since then when the world went black, he'd hear a voice say, sing, don't look back. So he struck a match on the heel of his boot, watched it flare like a long-buried truth, held it over the guitar till the smoke rose thin, a ritual for the sins he'd been living in. He cried, girl, if you hear me, forgive what I've done. Wind answer sharp, sing till it's won. Some nights end only when you bleed your song, and some souls rise cause they've carried it too long. That night refused to end without his voice, held back the dawn like it had no choice, but he tore it open with a sound so raw, sky cracked red like it finally saw. He didn't chase redemption, didn't chase light, just carved out truth in the middle of the night. Darkness dies where your voice doesn't, and he proved it loud while the world stayed silent. Home slow with a guitar still warm, carving new breath from the edge of a stone. Not redeemed, not clean, but stronger than wrong. A man who survived cause he carried a song. Met you on a morning when the sky was bleeding rust, dust stuck in that old car I've been hiding from the world. The road cracked like the sand I tore open years ago, and your hand We didn't talk, just listened to the wind hissing through my scar like it was whispering. You only survive what you face. I spit a laugh and muttered, yeah, easier said than done. Then I saw a thin as breath, glowing faint, a little thread growing out from the wound I tried to bury. I asked the sky, why this one? The sky said nothing, but you did. You stitched me back one pull at a time, even when my hands were shaking like a sinner at church. If the cut once tore me clean apart, now it's tying me straight to you. Funny, ain't it? Pain walked off, but the thread stayed. We walked past the spot where I once begged heaven to forget the things I'd done. It didn't, neither did I. But you knelt by that wound like there was something inside it worth saving. I remember you saying not every cut's meant to separate, that hit deeper than the blade that made it. When night fell, that thread lit up like a holy road, pulling us closer, even though everything I touch usually breaks or burns. I used to think all I knew how to do was tear apart. Turns out I can mend too if someone stays long enough to let me try. You stitch me back, slow, steady, even after I gave up on my own damn self. If that cut once split our worlds in two, now it's binding them thread by thread. Bridges burn easy out here, but wounds that link, they hold stronger than wood and steel. And I swear, even if the night rips me open one more time, this thread ain't breaking. You were walking that dry creek bed with a grin half dead, dust on your boots, bad nights in your head. Found a skullberry shallow where the rocks turn red, cracked clean through like the jokes it once said. You picked it up slow, felt the desert breathe, and a sound like a chuckle curled under the heat. No blood on the bone, no ghost to drag, just a laugh staying warm like an old torn flag. Wind pushed hard like it meant to judge, but you held that skull like a brother you trust. You whispered hell, what you laughing for? And it rattled back soft like it wanted more. You said, Lord, ain't much left we're keeping in me. Devil smirk, boy, your comedy, but the skull grew warm in your grip that night. Some seas ain't water, laughter keeps them alive. That skull held laughter like a buried flame, bright enough to echo through your shame. Didn't need blood, didn't need bone, just a joke strong enough to stand alone. You carried that sound through the killing and wrong, till the dog stepped back just to hear it strong. Darkness dies where your voice holds on, and the night bent low and the laugh rolled on. There was a man you lost in a cart-house fight, a brother in the dust on a crooked night. He always said, when hell comes down, laugh so hard the devil frowns. You failed him once when the bullets fell, ran too fast, left him cold as hell. That guilt sat heavy like a stone-fed chain, carved your name deep in the cracks of pain. So you set the skull down by a burned down tree, struck a match on your belt, let the flame run free. Held a near bone like a midnight ride, a ritual for the friend you felt. skull held laughter like a stubborn spark, burning through the rot in your chest so dark. Didn't cleanse your sins or erase your wrong, but it gave you breath in a world so long. You walked that creek bed carrying its grin, learning how to live with the weight of sin. Sometimes what we leave ain't ashes or bone, but a joke strong enough to outlive the stone. You ain't redeemed, but you ain't undone. A man still standing when the night outruns. And if the dark ever asks what kept you strong, tell them a skull once laughed and you carried it on. You carried it on. You carried it on. I carried that axe through the pines and the dust, steel chipped and worn, stained up with rust. Once it cut timber for the cabins we built, now it hums with the weight of the blood and the guilt. Tonight I walk back to the grave I dug, the one meant for me when the world turned thug. Moon on the dirt like a cold old judge, and my shadow looked like it dared me not to budge. I knelt down slowly, my breath unwound. Said, boy, you've been running from your own damn mind. That axe in my hand rattled cold in me, like it knew the truth I tried keeping clean. I muttered, Lord, you're watching or letting me rot. A devil whispered back, carve what you forgot. Steel shook once like a soul fed up. Some tools get tired of tearing things up. So I carved truth deep in my own gravestone, etched every sin that I claimed as my own. Didn't swing for vengeance, didn't swing for trees, just carved out the ghost that kept haunting me. I ain't clean, but I ain't hiding my name. Cut it right there in the dirt like a flame. If destruction's all you've ever known, you carve truth instead, or you die alone. You die alone. There was a brother I trusted more than kin. We rode through dust with the same damn grin, but he sold me out on a whiskey night, left me bleeding slow in a busted fight. I should have taken that axe to the man's front door, let rage do the cutting it thirsted for. But something in me snapped the other way. A voice said, carve your truth, not his today. So I pressed the blade to that headstone rock, hands shaking wild like a heart unlocked. Cut deep the words, I forgive what was done, and the night got quiet like it feared the sun. I said, if he ever hears this, I'm setting him free. Wind answered rough, boy, that frees you, see. Some wounds fade only when a man gets tough and carves what's true and not what's rough. So I carved truth deep in my own gravestone, left the hurt behind like a man full grown. Didn't call for mercy, to carry an axe that remembers was tough. Midnight sat heavy on the stone bed tile. Torch smoke crawled the walls like dying flowers. My wrist still burned from the chains they cut. Dust on my tongue, iron taste in my gut. They tore up my cloth wings on the chapel stair, lifted them high like a lesson in despair. One guard spit down, said sky ain't for your kind. His words hit harder than the rope they tied. I pressed my palm to the window's front, saw my whole life drift like a ghost I lost. Below the courtyard black, no sound, only the wind whispering, jump right now. I muttered, Lord, if you're watching, don't blink. Cross on the wall, didn't move, didn't think. Then a voice in my chest, colder than steel. Freedom ain't given, it's taken by will. So I stepped off the ledge like a verdict cast. No feathers, no mercy, no heaven attached. Fear tried to choke me mid-air like a knife, but my will hit back. It wanted a life they thought I'd break when they burned my defiance. But fire taught me its own kind of science. Some wings don't come from God or sky. Some wings are born the moment you refuse to die. Wind tore the scream right out of my throat. Streets rising fast like a sinking boat. Then crash, I hit a wagon of grain. Splinters, dust, a twist of pain. Woke up miles later in a dirt road town. Desert heat rising like a funeral crown. A preacher woman stitched my cut up arm. Said, girl, you're wrecked, but you meant no harm. I laughed once dry like metal on stone. I didn't jump for mercy, I jumped to own my bones. Nights passed slow with a knife by my knee. Posters of warning stamped with my face and plea. Every sheriff writing and carried rumors like knives, saying I rose from death and cut down lives. I knelt by the fire, pulled the charred wing scrap. Last piece they burned, still black, still cracked. I cut my thumb and let blood stain his thread. Whispered, if I must rise alone, I'll rise instead. So I ride with no halo, no gospel to keep, just dust on my boots and secrets I bleed. Fear tried twice to drag me below, but my wheels stood louder than anything I owe. They tore my cloth wings, thought they sealed my fate, but a burned wing remembers how to navigate. If heaven won't claim a soul this defiant, then hell can wait. I don't need its alliance. Some wings ain't shaped by God or sky. Some wings ignite the moment you refuse to die. They dragged you out past the county line. No moon, just a thin red haze. Boots and curses, busted lights, last ride of your crooked days. Judge wrote monster on your record, preacher wrote beyond repair. Cops just laughed and lit a smoke while they shoved you through the air. You hit a rock at the bottom of that hole, stone cracking in a bone. Dust exploded in your lungs like every lie you'd ever told. Walls were slick and cold as iron, claws of time in every scene. Wind came whistling down that circle, laughing like a dead man's dream. You tasted blood and gasoline, old fights on your busted lip. Thought back down and merry fate. You spat devil that you chuckle as the dark pressed on your skin. He said, nah, that's just your memory of the man you might have been. Your fingers found a naked stone, no rope, no hand, no friend, just you and every bad decision staring back again. You start to climb with broken nails, drag your sins up stone by stone, turning every cut and failure into something you can own. If the world throws dirt upon you, trying to write your story through, you rise with the things meant to bury you. You ain't waiting for redemption to come dig you out in gold. You just bleed into the granite till it learns to take your hold. Ain't no halo in that darkness, just a hard to find truth. You rise with the things meant to bury you. Knuckles split, you carve out ladders, little notches in the wall, each one named for some poor bastard you helped push or let fall. There's a cross scratched by another man who never made it through. You touch it with your bloody thumb, whisper, I ain't joining you. You see your face while borrow my eyes, the only one who ever prays that you ain't just what you've broken. You're the man you're scared to stay. You laughed it off and left her there, traded love for debts and blades. Now her voice is in that wind, cutting through the devil's waves. Don't rip skin clean off your fingers, bone on rock, a savage him. But the higher that you drag yourself, the less the dark feels like him. Thunder rolls above that circle like a judge about to speak, and for the first time in your life, you ain't bowing, you're just weak. You growl, got it full there, you never like my kind. Silence hits a beat, then answers through the echo in your mind. Son, I ain't moving stone for you, I'm watching what you do. You want out of this grave you dug, then climb with what made you. So you climb with broken nails, drag your sins up stone by stone. Every scar becomes a foothold, every bruise a piece of home. If the world throws dirt upon you, trying to write your ending soon, you rise with the things meant to bury you. No choir rope, no rescue rope, just your breath against the doom, just your heartbeat pounding louder than the laughter in that tomb. Ain't no saint stamp on your forehead, ain't no promise carved in proof. You rise with the things meant to bury you. And when your hand breaks through the surface, feel that cold night flood your lungs. You don't shout that you're a hero, you just know what you become. Not forgiven, not forgotten, but you walked out of that pit true, 'cause you rose on the bones of the worst of you. Yeah, you rose with the things meant to bury you. Yeah, you rose with the things meant to bury you. He rode that busted highway with his collar turned up high, rain slapping on his hat brim, thunder crawling across the sky. Every time the lightning flashed, his fingers found that chain, a little metal cross his daddy wore the night he died in rain. Folks all said it turned out mean, whiskey hard and eyes gone cold. Took dirty work for dirty cash, let his younger heart grow. But on this night And the stormy spent a life outrunning finally took his hand. He stopped his horse on a ridgeline, let the whole sky see his face. Growled, if you came for payback, then strike me in this place. Wind hissed through the fence wire like a choir out of key. He been scared of every thunder until it sounded just like breathe. They say strength is what survives the storm, but it ain't just who's left standing when it's gone. It's a man who drops his fear and steps into the road, chest wide open, saying, I ain't run no more. Lightning carved his shadow tall across the dirt and stone. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel alone. Strength ain't what just crawls out when the sky is finally done. It's what walks into the dark, doesn't turn and run. His daddy died out in a field, tractor flipped in flooding mud. Boy was standing at the window when the sky came down in blood. Since that night he blamed the clouds for every breaking in his chest. Took to fighting, took to drinking, put his faith in nothing left. There was a woman once who loved him, traced his scars like she read songs. Said you're more than what you're running from, then slipped right through his palms. He lost them both to different storms, one in rain and one in rage. And every bolt that split the sky just underlined his shame. So he raised that crooked cross up, held it high against the black. Snarled, Lord, I ain't asking favors, just don't let me crawl back. Thunder sounded like an answer, rumbling deep behind his eyes, like his daddy saying, son, it's time you stand and rise. They say strength is what survives the storm, but he proved it's who walks into its home. He let the sky unload on him, rain and fire in his veins. Let the thunder shake his terror loose and wash it down the drains. The lightning framed him like a preacher in a cracked and haunted church, soaking wet but finally steady, done with hiding, done with her. Strength isn't what just lives to tell when all the clouds are through. It's the soul that meets the storm and says, I've got some changing too. When the rain eased off at daybreak and the wind laid down his gun, he rode on not as a victim, but a different kind of son. Not clean, not pure, but standing straighter than before. Oh man, the storm chose back, 'cause he stepped into his roar. Whoa. Midnight out in the pine line, breath cut short and thin, boots dragging through dead leaves, heart misfiring in my skin. Rifle slung across my shoulder like a sin I never named. Hands that once tracked wild things now just tremble, old and shame. Round my neck a old warning blood, crack along the side. She slipped it on me years ago, the night my mercy died. Said, don't you come back empty, but don't you come back mean. And I spent a lifetime hunting more than what the eye can see. I leaned against a rotten tree, bar cold against my spine, chest lit up like gunfire, whirlwind crooked out of line. Hit my knees in mud and needles, tasted iron on my tongue. Thought this is how the spoon, everything I do. I spent Lord, if you still know me, you sure took your time to care. Wind just hits through broken branches, like it wasn't even there. Then that amulet went silent, then it split and then it bled. Little shards of diamond hanging weightless by a thread. It turned to dust and glowing sand, rose up like a ghost in flight, gathered in the frozen air, shaped itself in a hand of light. Pressed down hard against my chest till my lungs kicked back and burned, like every vow I ever broke came begging to return. And I heard her in the thunder, not above me, in my blood. The dead don't come to save you, boy, the love they left still could. I ain't clean and I ain't holy, but I'm standing here instead, 'cause what she gave me wouldn't let me die like I was dead. Sun came slow through crooked branches, gray and cruel and thin. I got up on legs of gravel, feel heavier but pinned. Every track I'd lay for money, every man I'd help go down, every prayer I'd left unanswered stared me straight back to that town. I walked past a busted chapel where we'd once been man and wife. Blood from where that light had grabbed me stained a cross back into sight. So I dipped my fingers and it drew a line across my heart, like a brand that said you'll answer for the way you play your part. Stopped beside a grave with flowers all gone black and dry. I whispered, I ain't much for talking, but I'm tired of my own lies. Wind curled round that marker stone like a cloak around my frame. Didn't feel like I was holy, just too love to die the same. I said, girl, I can't undo it, every track and every kill. But her voice came through the pine trees, you still got your damn free will. My heart kicked like a young horse, weak as hell, but still it beat. So I turned my back on running and I faced my own 2 feet. That charm gave up its body just to guard my final breath. Didn't raise me up to hell, just pulled me back from easy death. It turned to dust and sacred weight, carved a fire in my bone. Didn't wipe away my darkness, made me drag it to the throne. And I heard it in the quiet, clearer than the preacher's words. The dead don't come to save you, it's the love they left that turns. So I'm walking with my failures, but I'm walking on instead. Not forgiven, not forgotten, just too stubborn to stay dead. If I ever make it right, it'll be 'cause graves went soft above. It'll be 'cause I stood up with a haunted broken heart and her unforgiving love. ain't hitting that riding route. It's no 3:17 a.m. I was curled on the floor like a dog folks forgot to name. That rusty lock on the wooden door shook loose by itself, rolled across the dirt, hitting my boot like it had something to tell. I stared back at it, whispering, "You mocking me, old friend?" Wind pushed the door open like the night was breathing me in again. Mud past my ankles, thunder stalking me down the road, but hell, it felt like the first honest step my soul ever stole. And I heard a voice behind me, not God, not devil, just me crawling out of fear. Boy, you ain't broken, you'll just lay standing up. I walked out that room like a man newly born, with a lock for a compass and a heart full of thorns. If freedom got a price, I already paid every cent. And the night said move, so I went. Ain't waiting on a savior, ain't kneeling again. My chains all rusted, but they learn how to bend. I ain't running from the past, hell, I'm dragging it forward. Freedom begins where you stop, begging for a doorway. Found a Bible half burned by a ditch on the side of the town. I picked it up, pages flapping like dead wings, trying to rise somehow. There was a scribble on the margin, looked like my mama's hand. If you can't find heaven, boy, then walk like a man. Lightning cut the sky open, showed a quarry of old sins behind me, each one wearing my name, but none strong enough to define me. And that lock in my pocket rattled like it knew the truth. Some prisons don't open outward, some open through you. I said to the storm above me, if you got something left to teach, then strike. But thunder answered gentle, you're already standing, that's enough for tonight. I walked out that room like a man newly born, with a lock for a compass and a heart full of thorns. If freedom got a price, hell, I carved it in bone. I ain't asking for mercy, I can stand on my own. Ain't waiting on a savior, ain't crawling again. My scars all loud now, they sound like a hymn. I ain't scared of the dark, 'cause the dark learned my name. Freedom ain't a rescue, it's the night you rise anyway. Found that old soul standing upright in the dust, steel dull dried blood stuck on it like a forgotten sermon. Folks used to say it chose violence, the way desert fire chooses wind. Quick, blind, hungry. But that night it angled itself toward the cracked stone basin, staring at its own reflection in a pool of old brown blood. It didn't whisper, it remembered. He watched it tremble like a guilty man hearing church bells, and he muttered half to himself, hell, he would still get body that didn't want another sin. It wanted to know the shape of what it had become. That blade faced itself in the dark, saw truth where blood had dried. Didn't want to judge no more, just lead what's left of the living. You could hear it ring like a prayer trying to rise. Even a blade can't repent if the hand lets go. He stepped closer, boots crunching bone dust on the floor, and the sword turned toward him like it finally had a voice, not a threat, a plea. Behind him the wind shoved open a stone door, and not old carvings lit up, angels crossed out, devils kneeling. A whole history of judgment carved by a tool that never asked who deserved dying. He heard the sword whisper, no more endings, only direction. And damn if that didn't shake something loose inside him. So he reached out and dragged his thumb across the edge. A ritual quiet and raw. The blade drank the drop, then glowed like it'd been waiting for forgiveness. He didn't flinch, didn't pray, he just nodded as if answering a question no one else could hear. That blade faced itself in the dark, saw truth where judgment died. Didn't want to cut no more, just got whatever hearts would follow. It rang through the shrine like thunder raising dust. Even a blade can repent, even a sinner can too. As he lifted it, the night bowed back, 'cause some weapons burn brighter when they refuse to kill.